Good morning, everyone. This is the wonderful Sky Juice coming to you live and direct from the beautiful island of Puerto Rico with Spider Van from New York City and Claire Clouds from Fremantle, Australia. Perth, right?
Yeah, right.
So today is day 2 of the refeeding of the 21-day water fast, and Spider Van is in control of the situation. Hit it.
I always am, baby. I'm always in control.
Do I sound like a radio announcer?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm going to do that in my next career.
You should. Why not? Why
Yeah.
not? Yeah. I mean, you should have Sky Juice TV. You should have you could do blog talk radio. I'm about to do some things like that. I think
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why not? Why not? I mean, why not, right? I mean, you have about 1 million followers. Why not? Why not expand?
I
You
don't have
know,
a million followers.
I said 1 million followers. You have 1 million followers. You
What?
gotta, you have to speak it into existence.
That's the truth. Teach.
Yeah,
Teach the
yes,
truth.
yeah, baby.
Hallelujah.
You have 1 million followers, and so do I, and so does Claire. We have 1 million followers. We don't have to work. Money comes to us. We are money. We're abundance.
Money magnet. Money
That's it.
magnet. It
That's
flows.
right.
I'm with that. I
That's
am with that.
Yeah, so we're on day 2 of the reconvergence of refueling ourselves with foods and nutrition. Well, actually, when we were on the fast, water and the sun and the air is nutrition also, of course. It's the greatest source. Um, but in this common day of stress and work and family and relationships and everything else, I guess we need more than just sun and air and water, So we're on day 2. I'm using this 7-day process as a way to connect with my chakras. So I've chosen, like yesterday was the first day, so that was the red day, that was the root chakra day, and I ate a lot of red foods. I didn't eat a lot, but what I could eat was all red. I got some red juices. I had salads that had red in it, like tomato and red pepper and stuff like that. Um, I had beets. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Today I'm going along with the second of the major energy centers called the sacral chakra, which is supported by the color orange. So the foods I'm going to be eating today are going to be like pumpkin and on the fruit side will be orange tomato, oranges, of course, tangerine. I'll get a juice done later. It'll probably have orange and tangerine in it. And we'll stay along the lines of that, orange peppers and stuff like that. And the sacral is supposed to be, the energy behind that is supposed to be one of sensuality and sexuality and pleasure, your pleasure centers of your existence. And uh, I would just say that when you eat something today, focus on, just try to figure out what is that in there, like what's the ingredients. Like if you have a salad and you go and you get a salad, like try to taste everything, try to focus on all of your senses, try to imagine what that is in there, like if it's thyme or if it's a bay leaf or whatever. Just try to focus on everything you're eating and enjoy it. Whatever you do, really, really enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy everything today. Try to be present in every moment, and just try to fulfill every desire that you have. Just try to be present and enjoy yourself. Be mindful of how important that is, because you can use this experience to remember that you're not your past and you're not your future. You're only your now. So I'm going to use this day to meditate a lot, pray a lot. I'm going to do a lot of affirmations. I'm going to do a lot of proclamations. I'm going to do a lot of intentions, declarations. I'm just going to focus on everything great, of how beautiful I am and how beautiful everyone is, and how grateful I am. And I think you can use this day to support that. So just love on yourself. Go to the mirror, like Louise Hay would say, and just tell yourself, I love you, I'm beautiful, I'm loving, and I'm very lovable. It might seem strange at first, but if you keep doing that every day, and before you know it, you really believe what you're saying. You will be in love with yourself, and not from a conceited standpoint. You will just love yourself, how beautiful you really are. So basically, that's what the day is about for me. It's about love and life and light, and starting over, and just getting into the flow of being in love, being in love with yourself so that you're capable of loving others. From that point, I will mute.
Well, anytime anyone talks about love, it always, always reels me in. And I have this really, like, weird thing that I love. And some people think it's out of my character, but that just means you don't really know me. But I love Ratchet TV, right? And you know, I don't know why, but it's just quite entertaining to me how people will just act a fool on TV and stuff like that. It's just funny to me. I actually do have ones that I watch because, I have my sedity ways on what is really good or not. But the one that I really love, or one of my tops, are the Preachers of LA. And I don't know why I love it, but it's just entertaining. But they just came out with a new one that I watched this morning called Preachers of Detroit. And, and I definitely put that under the ratchet category. I don't care if it's preachers, because they're not, I don't know, maybe I have, people think preachers are supposed to be a certain way, but that's not really the truth. Anyway, this morning, two of the preachers had an argument. And it was really a battle of the egos, they were both yelling at each other about respect, but neither one of them were respecting one another. And so by the end of the show, they came together and they were talking about love, which was really where they should have started from. Anyway, that's what came to my mind when you started talking about love, was like, I thought that when they started arguing. Because honestly, respect is, okay, there's this book. There's this book called The Power of Love. And The Power. It's called The Power. And it's written by Rhonda Byrne. Is it Byrne? She's the one who did The Secret. Okay? Now, I don't even like to put people on pedestals, and I don't think she's the greatest thing in the world either. I just think that, she put it out there. I don't think she did anything that was miraculous. I think how she did it, it came out right. So she has a series of books. To me, and this is just me talking, the power is the Bible. That is how I see it, and that is what it is. And the power is love. And you guys get a copy of it, order it. You could have it on Kindle, and you can tell me no if you want to. But how it was written and what it said about love and hate and people and the world, love is everything, okay? And everything that we want in our life, everything that we want, everything that we need is through the power of love. Everything that we don't want and that we don't need is not through the power of hate. Hate actually doesn't exist. Hate is the absence of love. There is no hatred, okay? Maybe that's the term for the absence of love, but there's not a true hatred. You know why? Because you ever see like two people who fight, glass bottles flying, all kinds of craziness, and then they sit down and visualize the reality that they can work this out, and then they give each other a hug. If there was hate, there would be no reconciliation. That's just how I see it. But anyway, um, get that book, The Power by Rhonda Byrne. It is awesome. I think I have a copy here, and I had two copies. I gave one to a friend, which I don't know if she appreciated it. But it's okay. You know how people give you a Bible? That's me giving her a Bible. I think she needed it. So that's it.
Go for it, Claire, my dear.
No, I was waiting on you saying something. I'm just listening right now.
Yeah, no, yeah, Rhonda Byrne is one of my favorite authors. I don't have the book, but and I hope I'm not ruining her sales, but you can go right to YouTube and they have the audio book there, and it's phenomenal. Yeah, it's better work. I mean, I like the magic, which I love that book. It's a book of manifestation, the secret to dreaming and imagining that anything's possible, no matter what. A lot of people sort of like are detractors. They say, well, she didn't really give you what the real secret is. Well, that's okay. Rich Dad, Poor Dad didn't really tell you how to get rich either. He just he turned the light bulb on. That's what The Secret did for me. So it's one of those books that I love. And The Power is exceptional. Yeah, and she's got a few. She's got the Seek Gratitude Journal where she teaches you how to manifest through gratitude. And yeah, she's the sure shot shit, no doubt about it. I love her. But yeah, I'm gonna listen to that again. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm gonna listen to it again, and I'll probably go out and buy it. I love books anyway, so I'll probably want it for my collection. But yeah, you can go right to YouTube and you can put in The Power, and it's looped a couple of times. It's like 6 hours straight. The one that I'm used to listening to, and I'll just put it on in the house. And I haven't done it in about, I don't know, several months, but just put on, you're cleaning up, you're doing your thing, and it's playing in the background. So yeah, I'm a big fan, Sky. Brother, I'm
I knew there was something about you I liked. um, okay, so you need to send me that link because I did go to YouTube to look for it and I never found it. So if you know how to find it, maybe it was taken off, I'm not sure. But if you have the link or know where to find it, then send it to me, please, because I actually did look for the audiobook. They have The Secret on there, but they don't have, at least I didn't find the Power on YouTube. So if you have that, let me know. But yeah.
don't know if I have it. It's been a while. It's been several months, but I'll look for it as soon as we're off the call. If I find it, I'll alert you to it.
All right, cool. So, what else is going on in the world of good living?
Well, I'm
Well,
just
go
calling
ahead,
in a
my dear.
calling
Go
in a
ahead.
van, but it's going to be 102 Fahrenheit tomorrow, so it's a beach day. So I'm going to be blessing the water around me and drinking the water, and yeah, it's going to be good.
I am so sick and tired of you guys with that. I'm telling you. If I only had 50 or 60 degrees that I could just bask in, I'm telling you, I'd go. It's just, it's so torturous here, you know. But it has warmed up a little. But if it's not 2 degrees, it's snowing, you know. So, Sky, I hope you bring some of that sunshine down when you come to New York in March.
I plan on it. That's my goal because I can't. I was talking to my daughter and I told her I got rid of every piece of warm clothing on the face of the planet because I vowed I wouldn't go to the States in cold weather. So they have to meet me at the airport with all kinds of gear because I ain't gonna buy it either. I'm just gonna borrow it and give it back to them when I get back on the plane, back to my tropical paradise. I don't got time for that. But since it is my daughter's birthday, you know, that's my goal is to go up there and have fun with them. But you know, yikes. I'm gonna be positive. I'm looking forward to a sunny time in New York. So let me ask you a question. This morning, Monday mornings is my Ratchet Monday, and it's when I get to watch all my Ratchet TV on YouTube and some other blog sites that I get to, you know, get my housewives on and all that kind of stuff. Here's the question. If you had unlimited money, in other words, nothing was a question, okay? So there's no issue on the amount. And your child was turning sweet 16 and wanted the biggest, baddest party you can ever imagine, along with the gifts, the cars, the outfits, the dancers, and of course the live performance of whomever. Do you think spending $500,000 to $1 million on a 16-year-old's birthday party, is that excessive or is that abundance?
I think a lot of things go into answering that. Uh, I personally that sort of thing because unless that 16-year-old is exceptionally mature and they have a certain way of looking at the world and looking at life, that's something digestible by the mind and by the being. And a lot of 16-year-olds, that just creates a monster. Well, first of all, if you're even considering doing that, you already have a monster. And you probably know you had better do it to keep her happy or him happy. I mean, I don't have that sort of expression of wealth yet, and I will. But I don't think I would do something like that personally unless that kid is so phenomenal in so many areas of their life that I don't feel like I'm damaging them by doing something like that. I would want a person of that age to want to do something for the world. Instead of spending 500,000 or $1 million on that, I would be more impressed if they said dad or mom or granddad or whatever I am to them. I want to create a nonprofit or an organization that we can go feed the hungry, or we can get villages clean water in Africa, or build microhomes in the poor provinces of India, or something like that. That would be impressive. And that would make me want to do anything for that kid. That would make me want to, not only help them with that dream that they have, but now doing some sort of surprise party for them that's close to what you just described. I probably wouldn't spend 500,000 to $1 million on it, but I would do something so sweet and generous and great that they would never forget it because they have the mindset to process that. I think a lot of times people with that type of money, um, their children, first of all, are obviously very spoiled and maybe rightfully so of their own, but that doesn't help. Something like that only just makes them worse, for lack of a better term. So, but who knows? I mean, if I came from that sort of expressed wealth, who knows what I would do? Who knows? But if you're asking me today where I stand uh, right now, I would say no. But that's just me. Claire, what do you say?
I would definitely say no. Yeah, I agree on those points that, you'd be creating a monster. Already a monster is created, and that kid is like expecting like everything to be like that, like from that moment in time. And I think that I would probably like invest the money into like a college fund for them, or either like part of a college fund and then the rest like go traveling around the world to like volunteer to do like organizations like you said, like like helping people around the world, like in communities and or like um, environmental issues, and um, that's what I'd do. I wouldn't throw a big party at all. No way.
Boo. No, I get it. I mean, I think there's going to be a balance, and I think that when you come from a particular state of mind, which is where we're thinking from, honestly, we're thinking from lack, because we don't have, like, you don't need to save for the college fund because the college fund is already there. You understand what I'm saying? We're not talking about the college fund. That's already there. We're not talking about the travel stipends and the private jet. That money is already there too. So we don't have to save for anything else. It's just abundantly there and what have you. I'm not saying I'm not going against what you're saying. I'm just saying I'm trying to look at it in an abundant light. What I do agree with is the child that can have anything they want would not appreciate the child that cannot have anything that they want. And so how do you like you said, a monster, how do you raise a compassionate human being who has to realize that most of the entire planet is without abundance. They have love, they may have food, they may have shelter, but most of the planet doesn't. And that to me would be more of the lesson than I think a party is worthy, not necessarily the over the top everything party, but it would be a dream. Like, I would love to have the anything party. The only thing is, I had a Sweet 16 party, and my mother did everything. I mean, oh my gosh. We didn't have the live band or anything, but we had one of the hottest DJs on the island. We had a stretch limo. We had the cake. Don't ask me where this cake came from. But what me and my best friend at the time, it was like shortly after the party, we stopped talking. It's crazy. Our birthdays were like 4 days apart or something. And so the two parents said, well, let's combine forces and do like a double Sweet 16. So we had, this cake was three-tier or four, I think it was three-tier cakes. So the two cakes on the end had a bridge to the cakes in the middle. And then on each cake was two girls, because we didn't want the two girls to be next to one another like in a wedding, because it wasn't a gay thing. You know what I mean? So we each had like two figurines on the cake, and with a bridge and a waterfall and all kind of crazy foolishness. Um, the thing I didn't like about it was, and it was nowhere near a $500,000 party at all. The thing I didn't like about it is it became the talk, right? Oh my God, did you hear they're having this big party? My mother and my friend's mom, they rented the botanical gardens. I mean, I look back, and this is what my mother said. My mother said to me, You can either have a party or you can have a car. That's what she said. And that was a mistake I made because the party to me was all about popularity and people and all this kind of stuff. And the next day the party was over, I had nothing, okay? Nothing. And when I looked around, my friend's mother was out on the dance floor dancing with everybody's child. My mom was in the area of the buffet my mother catered the whole thing. And she was working the whole night. Like, there was nobody around helping. It was just like this woman put her money in, and my mother kind of ran and did things and say, my mom will save some money too, so she's not going to hire people when she could do it, which, you got to sometimes. You can't do everything. But anyway, long story short, I should have taken the car because, like me and my best friend at the time, we fell out shortly after, like a week later, number one. Number two, like some of the friends that I had who came there were just talking about me like a dog, you know what I mean? And it was like, it sounded like a jealousy vibe, but the truth of the matter is I had no ride or dies. When I really turned around and looked behind me, there was nobody there, And a couple of my friends, like one of my best friends we're like ace boon coon till this day, she was like the only person I can think of that we actually still communicate to this day, And what did her father do is gave her a car. I was like, shoot, I should have done that. But anyway, just random thoughts. I just think that, I believe the universe is abundant, but relationships and caring and being connected to human beings is not necessarily an abundant feature, because people carry their stuff with them in a backpack on their back, and it's like whatever their isms and schisms are, whatever their issues are, whatever their religious beliefs are, that is how they're going to see their world, like you think we live in one world. We live in like 7 billion worlds, and then we probably live in all the animals that are on the planet and everything. They have their own vision of what they see in the world. And, a lion is going to look at me and not see a beautiful person, They're going to see a big slice of steak on my thighs. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just me talking.
I don't
Well,
know.
I
I
think.
think.
Go
Sorry,
ahead,
go
baby.
ahead. Go.
No, no, no.
Go ahead. Go. Go ahead. Go. All right. I'll go ahead then. I think you can visualize abundance in relationships. I think you can. I think it's possible. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, abundance is all around us. We create what we. I mean, I don't know. I just think. What's your thoughts on that, guys? Because I know Sky was saying, but what do you think, Dan? I think you can create abundance in relationships.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that what happened in Sky's case, Sky, in your case, I think what happened was there were lessons that you needed to learn in that whole thing. That whole thing. And no matter what happened, no matter what took place, you might have ended up saying, "Oh, I should have done the other thing." So let's just say you got the car, then you wouldn't have had the party. But then you wouldn't have known the things that you now know about the friends and about all these other things. You would have, something inside of you, I think, would have wanted to, wished you had that party. Damn, I should have had the party. It would have been so much fun. I would have been the center of the attraction. Everybody would have, I would have been the most, I would have been the most popular thing. I mean, there's always going to be something. Like, it's like the 80-20 rule. You can be with somebody over here that's giving you 80%, and then you'll have the other person out there that's trying to woo you in, and they're actually the 20%, but you don't really appreciate the 80% you have. You think that's the 20% and the grass is greener on the other side. And then what happens is you go to the other side and you realize, damn, I should have never did that. I had everything I needed right where I was. I would just take that as a learning experience. I have a million stories like that. You know what I mean? I think most people do, and I think that there are lessons in that that you need to maybe embrace. I'm glad you had the party. I know it sounds crazy, but guarantee you would have got the car. You would have wished you had the party. And God forbid the car would have broke down or been a lemon. Then you really would have been angry. So it's all good. It's all good. So what are your
Well,
thoughts?
well, I eventually did get a car. It wasn't immediately afterwards, but yeah, I mean, it was one of those lessons that actually makes me feel like I feel now. Like the way I feel now about relationships and people think, like you said, I have a million followers, but friends, I have a few friends, okay? And that was one of my life lessons about people. And it's kind of why I am such a what is the word? Introverted, don't want a whole lot of people around me type of person. Like I love people and I love having these like wonderful moments and sharing, and I love talking to people and getting to know them. But at the end of the day, I can also say hello and goodbye. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily want to open up on a very intimate level to too many people. Like I'm very more conservative now about, because my daughter, she's so funny. She is just like me when I was her age. And she has been that way since she was little. She would meet someone at an event, a party or a gathering or anything, and in 2 hours she was like, that's my best friend. And I used to be the same way. I would meet someone and I would just fall in love with them, female, male. It would be like, oh my God, they are so cool. I want them in my life. And now I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm gonna take you about 1% and I'm good. Because I just, it was just like maybe my way of learning people, and just giving them like just little pieces of me or whatever. It's like very few people on this planet have a lot of me. Very few people, and I like that. I like that. I mean, and it's ironic because I open my home to the world. Like, folks, once they book a retreat, they are coming in my house. So I'm open in the sense, but I'm also closed as well. So I don't know. Is that interesting or what?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, there's a lesson there too. It's always lessons, man. Always. Everything's a lesson. Um, maybe that event shaped your character, but maybe that's not the rightful way for you to be, and maybe you have to look at that too. Maybe that's preventing you from having a million followers. You know, it's not a bad thing. It's not a criticism, and it's nothing wrong. It's just that we all have to take a look at ourselves and different things that happened to us that formed our character that might be keeping us back. I got a million of them. That's why I love fasting, because they all come up and I have to deal with it. I have to exercise the demons. I got a lot more to do, and I can't wait, because it's like the more they come up, the more I'm faced with it. I don't get to sweep it under the rug because there's nowhere else to go. I can't run. I can't hide. I can't put it away for later because you're in that space where, you have to face yourself. And that's what I love about the process of fasting. But like I said, you know, I don't know how you feel about that, but that may not be the best thing. I don't have a lot of friends either, to be honest. I'm an outgoing person. I've been called the life of the party. I've been called, that whole social butterfly and all that. But in reality, I'm very private. I'm like you. I can stay home for days. I can literally do that. But I don't think that's really who I am. I think that things happened and it forced me to, first of all, not trust people and not let people in. I don't let too many people in. Like you, I might have a handful of friends because people have let me down or whatever expectation I had of them. It was my own expectation. They never said that they was this or that. They never promised me a rose garden, and they never promised me they were this exceptional person. But I befriend, like your daughter and you earlier. Oh yeah, that's my best friend. And I got them up on this pedestal, and they never asked to be there. And then when they did something that I didn't approve of or that I thought was really shitty, I just completely like disengaged with them. And that has, to this day, I'm like that. So it really is a lesson. All it is for me is that, just let people be people. You can't do anything about that. You can't. It'll keep you from being your true self unless you do let people in. Now, do they need to know your social security number and no, they don't need to know intimate details about you. But the more you push people away, the less that energy comes back. Now, that doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it is something to look at. So I'll mute.
It's like a mechanism, that we do. Like it's like this barrier that we put up. Like, I've done that before. Like recently, one of my friends, like just totally, just no explanation, just boom, nah, don't want anything to do with you. Have to move on with my life. Can't go there. And I was like, okay, well, at least you can give me an explanation or something, and it's not going to come. And so then from my response from that, I just completely shut down. Was like, no, don't want anyone to get close to me. Don't, we go through that, in relationships, it's like up and down like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it can be, because from the past one that you dealt with, it's like, well, how can I trust again? Like, because I'm dealing with these, like Sky said, this like backpack that you're carrying, like sort of thing, and how am I going to deal with the next one? And is this person going to do the same to me, or and like me, I'm the same way. Like I have a few friends, not many, but the friends that I do have, we keep in touch, not on a regular basis, and I'm happy to be home most of the time nowadays. Like, if anything, I'll go down to the club maybe once, like a month, if that, not even that, like at all. I'm really, no, like real homebody, hey. And I'm happy like that. I don't know if it's like getting older. I don't think it's that, but it's just, it's the mechanisms that we have that we have to maybe look at and sort of adjust and say, look, well, this everyone's different, like Van said. Every individual is a different person, and like maybe give people a chance a bit more to open up, and it doesn't mean you have to like let them completely in. I think once an old friend said to me something like, to get to know somebody is sort of like to, reel them in a bit. So like I don't know why he said this, but it was just like interesting to me, because he said one thing was, well, you don't want to put yourself on a platter and just say, this is me, because then that's it, and that's that whole like, oh, this person's my best friend thing. I've done that too, in the pedestal thing and stuff. But, it's like, you know, to get to know someone, you just like, you know, show them a bit of you, and then that's it. And then, you know, get to know them like any relationship, you know, whether it be best friends or male, female, 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 male, male, whatever, you know, whatever is up your alley. But, you know, it's just that's the way that that he taught me, and I kind of feel that kind of makes a bit of sense, you know. So, because you want to get to know someone for a long time, you don't want to just be like, "Boom, this is me." Depending on if it's work or whatever it is. Anyway.
True that, true that. Whew. You know, I think that you said that's probably why I don't have the million followers yet. I think that Michael Jackson, who had millions of followers, you're still not going to get him 100%. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it is a protection. Maybe it is my invisible, bulletproof. What is that thing that Wonder Woman had around her airplane, like the cloaking thing? Yeah, that might be what it is. But I realize that, you know, I think because, like, for example, the other day I was watching a film on Hulu about Michael Jackson's life. It was Michael Jackson legacy, how he lived, died, and whatever. And you know, I guess from what they got from whomever put it together, Michael Jackson was really affected by criticism, you know, and it affected him deeply, you know, I think it kind of messed him up. And you know, fans are fans, but people are rough. You know what I mean? And even fans are critical. So it's like, you know, he in his mind is doing his thing, but the world doesn't see that. They don't see, you know, how he would have a house in an amusement park situation and have children come and spend the night. Like, in his mind, he was doing wonderful things like a dream, like kids would love this. And people got real critical of that, you know? I mean, I personally, I don't know why, but my feeling, my intuition said he didn't mess with any children. But, you know, I can't go on a court and say that either, because people in their mind think that that's just not right. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I feel about human beings is it's really, people take other people's opinions really harshly, you know, and they really, 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 you know, they really take on like the personal opinions of others. And I don't know if I really do that, because it's easy for me to blow stuff off too. But you know, back to the conversation at the beginning, love. If you can go back to the thought of love in your life, and that love guides us, and that we, you know, if you can look at people and say, okay, I see where they're coming from because I see where they've been, and I love them anyway, then I guess that is how folks are some of the isms and schisms that they create in their own mind, you know. Feed. This is food for your soul. This is food for thought. That's part of the refeeding.
Absolutely. It sure is. But yeah, Michael Jackson, like all of us, you know, a lot of things. Michael Jackson, first of all, I didn't know him personally, and you know, it's all just conjecture and opinion anyway. It doesn't matter who put whatever together. No one really knows but him, you know. And what I always got from him, in my own opinion, was he was extremely sensitive. You know, I've known people that were extremely sensitive to, like you said, opinions and They're always trying to fit. That's where peer pressure is so powerful. And we all process things differently. I think whatever environment he came up in, whatever made Michael Jackson, whatever makes Sky Juice, Claire and Van and whoever else them, that we're put together a certain way. I could probably go through the war. I don't know if this is, and I don't want to find out, but I could probably go through the war and I could probably kill these people and come back. It's going to affect me, but I probably wouldn't have I probably wouldn't have post-traumatic stress syndrome. I'm sure obviously it'll affect me, obviously. I mean, it'll form my character in a different way, a sadistic way. I don't know. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just throwing it out there. But then let's say that Mickey went to war and not Mickey. I don't want to put a name. Say that Joe Schmo went to the war and they faced the same stuff, and when they came home, now they can't function. You have more war veterans, 2 years old, they're killing themselves. They're committing suicide on a huge level, like it's an epidemic right now. You have like every day, like they give some number, like 20 of the people that are returning from war committing suicide. Why is that? People are just put together. Like whatever he went through as a kid, he's still 5 years old. I always looked at him as a 5-year-old in a big man's body. I wasn't critical. I've gone through some things in my development. I remain 5 and 6 years old in different aspects of my life. Even in relationships, I was
Yeah, I figured he was getting a little something.
Yeah. Major breaking out. He'll come back, I'm sure.
So how are you feeling right now? You're still fasting, yes?
Yeah, I'm still fasting. You?
Yes? And how are you feeling?
Yeah, okay. I've been looking up recipes though, and that's kind of not helping. So I'm gonna try and stop that until.
I've been doing the same thing.
Oh, it's I'm probably just fake.
But that's good though. That means preparation.
Yeah, that's.
What was I gonna tell you? Oh, I forgot.
Here comes Dr. Love.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm on my phone, and when I get a call, it disrupts the hangout. Yeah, but I'm sorry to interrupt. I was 5 and 6 years old for years, even though I was a grown man. I was 5 and 6 years old because of things that happened to me. Uh, I just never. I was always stuck in that place, and that definitely happened to him. I don't know what happened to him, but I know something happened to him, and I know he couldn't process it properly, so he always remained a kid. That's where the Peter Pan syndrome came from. That's where all that stuff, where the fans embrace all that, Wonderland, and like to them, I mean, we all can relate to being a kid anyway. But he had resources, he had money, he had talent, he had fame, and he could do anything he wanted to do. He was the most powerful. He was more powerful than the president, especially at some point. So, I mean, he was almost like iconic and godlike to some. He was making people faint. I wish I had that power. I wish I could walk down the block, at least I think so, and people just start fainting and crying and carrying on. He'd touch you and people would fall out. You know what I mean? I mean, I haven't seen that since Jesus. But anyway, I'm just saying that he regressed. Like he had a regression that occurred, and he was just extremely sensitive. And we all are. We're all put together a certain way. So, whatever happened with you, whatever happened with me, everybody. That's why everybody's walking around and they're not happy and they're pissed off and the relationships don't work right because it is about love, but it's about self-love. If you don't start loving on you, you can't love anybody else. It's impossible. You know what I mean? Maybe hate doesn't exist, but it damn sure affects everything that love start dealing with it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, to me, that's what it's about. You're right. It is about love. It's about love, but you got to do it. You got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. Anything else is obsession. Anything else is control. You know, people say, "Oh, I love you," but meanwhile they fight you or they they beat on you or whatever. You know, but they love you. That's not love. You know, that's control. That's obsession. That's other things. In their heart, they feel like they love you, though. You know, they feel like I do this because I love you. But is that love? No, it's not. You know, that's something else. So until we start channeling that and dealing with it, it may not happen overnight. It took this long for us to get this way. You know what I mean? I hope it doesn't take this long to get out of it, but I damn sure believe that, you know, a journey of 10,000 steps starts with the first one. And you got to start doing that and start understanding that everybody is exactly where they are, you know, based on exactly what we're talking about. I'll mute.
Yes, I agree. Mute.
It's true. Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah.
So I guess we can stop at this point because we be getting into it. And if you want to, Van, go back into the refeeding, not only refeeding your body with orange foods, but refeeding your mind with orange thoughts. Ooh, I like that.
That was good. That was good. Well, I don't need to say any more after that. I mean, you said it. You said it. Scott said it. It's not just about refueling your body, but you got to refuel your mind and refuel your emotions and your spirituality. And don't be afraid of anything. No matter what you've gone through, let it come up. Deal with it. Feel it. Be present to it. That's the only way you can exercise it. So once again, you know, we want to thank you guys for, you know, viewing the call and being on the call, and let Claire go because she just admitted that she's going to the club. So we don't want to hold her up. You know, we know she wants to get down to the club as soon as possible. So, you know, we're going to say, you know, have a good day. And once again, there won't be an evening call anymore. We're just going to have it at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't be coming on the call looking for us because we're not going to be there. All right? You'll be talking to yourself. You probably do that anyway. All right. Well, anyway, we love you. We thank you for your time, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever that means to you. And remember, you don't just get water fasting advice here. You get life.
That's right. That is right. Talk to you later, y'all.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Prema.
Prima's here. Wow.
What?
Dang.
Prema, you came in on the
Fabulously
last
late.
second. The last second. Oh my gosh. Are you there,
Well,
Prema?
sorry, my dear.
Prema, we were just saying goodbye.
Don't worry about Prema. She's on a silence fast anyway.
Okay.
She's not gonna talk.
All
She's not
right.
gonna talk.
All right. Well,
We love you, Prema.
talk to you
We
later.
out. All right,
Peace.
Prema. Have a good day. All right, Claire, Sky. All right, everybody. Take care. We out. Peace.
Bye.